With vaccines arriving in Tennessee next month, there's concern one important and very high-risk group may not get its due. As News Channel 5's Nick Barris tells us, the Davidson County Sheriff worries that will leave thousands across the country working in hazardous conditions without protection.
Sheriff Darren Hall is frustrated and concerned, not just for his own staff, but for the thousands of correctional officers who work in jails and prisons all across the country. Why? Well, he worries they may not make the list for early access to that COVID-19 vaccine.
Although corrections doesn't get a lot of attention in the country when it comes to law enforcement, to me, they should be in the front of the line.
Hall says right there with healthcare workers and high-risk patients already flagged for vaccines by the CDC. The agency goes on to list first responders like police and firefighters. Hall wants to make sure corrections officers are included.
I think law enforcement, first responder, all that catches everyone's attention and quite frankly, politically makes everybody feel better.
But Hall says correction officers are at greater risk of getting sick. Since the pandemic started, he says 121 of his employees have tested positive, with 9 currently in quarantine, and some 400 inmates had COVID. 1 died. There are currently 31 in quarantine.
The reality of this situation is there is nobody, an agency, who's been more impacted by COVID than we have in Metro.
The sheriff has no qualms with first responders getting vaccines. They too are at great risk, but he insists correction officers need to be included with police and firefighters.
They do incredible work and they deserve a lot of help. But there's no way that they deserve to be in front of the line and in front of the people working in prisons and jails all over this country.
There is absolutely no doubt that nationwide COVID hits first responders very, very hard. The most recent statistics show more than 230 police and corrections officers have died from the illness, with thousands more infected while on duty. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.